Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA. And it's been a little while. YouTube was fucking up a little bit. But I was doing episodes and when it wasn't uploading. So like I did a podcast episode. I was covering the shit that was going on. I talked about Stipe Doom and all that shit and that card and all the 199 and that everything that just went on. But basically now everything's fixed, so I could just be up here talking again, and everything will be back to normal. And the something I want to cover first. It's not one of the major things, but I'm actually really surprised that no one's been covering it, or it hasn't gotten in any website like BJ Penn, Bloody Elbow, just like anyone's that just cover it. They haven't really covered this. And basically, it's about Cody No Love. Now, I did a Cody No Love video a while ago after he came off of his win with the last minute opponent, and he went from like another striker, it changed up to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, and he knocked him out in the first round. And that was on a big card too. I can't remember what card it was. I can't remember off top, but I definitely remember watching that card and he was on it, and I was like, oh shit. And then I did a video about him and TJ Dillashaw, about how TJ was trying to say how Cody left like his family and shit like that to go to Team Alpha Male. So he basically calling him disloyal, like, so how can you call me out, kinda. And then I did a video on that and my take on that. And at that point, that was before the Almeida fight and all that, and like before Cody No Love was really buzzing. It was like the Almeida fight was made, but it was like a long time away. But I think it's Justin Buchholz's podcast, but it's basically the Stud Radio podcast, and I think it's Justin's. I think he's the one that runs it. He was in the UFC. I think he got cut and now he's fighting for like other organizations. But he had Cody on twice. I'm sure he had it more, but twice that the media covered. Actually, one time that the media really covered, and that was when he was talking about how he confronted Dominic Cruz before 199. I mean, after 199, after he beat Faber and stuff like that. The websites picked that up and ran with that. But what no one's talking about is, so obviously Cody, before I don't want to forget this point. So on one of his podcasts, Chael Sonnen was talking about how he was talking to Paige Van Zant when she was doing promotions for Dancing with the Stars and shit like that. He talked to her and he was asking about like TJ Dillashaw and shit like that, and he was like, "Oh, so was anybody handling TJ Dillashaw?" And she was like, "I'm not gonna say who, but somebody was." And Chael's like, "I figured it was Cody No Love." Now I paraphrase that, but it was basically that. Essentially, what it is. And in what the fuck does the UFC call it? When they have the I don't even I don't even remember what the fuck it's called, but it's when they have a fighter on the side of the, like, who's in the audience breaking down their opinion of the fight. And like one of the most recent ones, they had like Luke Rockhold talking about John Jones OSP one. And when they did the Dominic Cruz TJ Dillashaw fight, Faber was saying, oh, like, I think he said something along the lines like he's frustrating Dillashaw, and when he gets mad, he misses a lot. That's what No Love always did to him in the gym. So there's kind of like an ongoing thing that, like, all right, TJ, you're the champ and shit like that, but this young guy like knocked you out. So basically, it was all being insinuated, and like something I liked about Cody is when like TJ Dillashaw called him out, he like stepped up like, I don't give a fuck, no problem. Now you guys should know that Dominic Cruz is one of my favorite fighters in the world. It's like John Jones won Dominic Cruz too, and it would be a good fight. I think Cruz would win against Garbrandt, but it'd be a dangerous fight because Garbrandt has such heavy hands, and I really like Cody Garbrandt too. I'm a fan of Cody. And even before the Almeida fight, I was actually calling Cody to win the Almeida fight, and like I heard like rumblings that he called out Brian Caraway, who's ranked number 4, and I heard that it's gonna be him versus fucking Takeya Mizugaki in the card in Cleveland, which honestly, like Faber was pretty much discrediting Dominic the entire build up to the fight. You don't finish anybody, blah 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 blah. And then Cruz was like always bringing up, bro, I came in off 3 years off and fucking took out Mizugaki. And like Faber always never wanted to address it. Like he never wanted to be like, oh yeah, oh good for you. But he was just always would bring something else up or be like, oh, you always go to decisions, whatever. And for the guy, for your boy, if you're Cody, if your boy Faber was just like blatantly just kind of discrediting this guy, fucking Mizugaki as an opponent, why would you want to go and fight him next? You get what I'm saying? But whatever. I respect Mizugaki, and you know Dominic Cruz is Dominic Cruz, so that's why he could do what he do to Mizugaki. But they're all going about it wrong. He should. I know Dillashaw has a Sun Sao at fucking 200, but No Love should be calling out Dillashaw and a Sun Sao. And now listen to this. No one's been covering this. This is on the Stud Radio podcast, and that's an Alpha Male podcast. And here's what happens, and here's what Cody says.
After that, real defensive. He just saying he always worked Faber in the gym, and he thinks that Cruz is going to win because being Faber doesn't seem like that hard of a task.
TJ wants to bring some shit in about the gym, right? You want to talk about the gym things where you don't really.
Well, it's all about Faber.
It's all about Faber, but he's going to sit there and talk some shit. You know what I mean? But he seems to forget when I knocked his ass out in sparring. So he wants to talk about gym wars or gym stories. You know what I mean? You can say get the best of Faber, but he ain't saying the shit that happened to him. You know what I mean? That's where we're going to go to it with.
Yeah, I mean, it's
pretty long.
All right, so if you guys couldn't hear that clearly, or just to dive into it a little more, so someone was saying how TJ Dillashaw was talking about how he would work Faber over in gym and sparring sessions and shit like that. Like I'm sure you guys heard that a lot. Where he was talking about how, oh, dude, I've been beating up Faber for years and blah, 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 blah. So Cody said, when some guy brought this up that Dillashaw was saying this, Cody said, well, you want to talk shit about the gym. You want to talk about how you would be working Faber over in the gym. Then why don't you talk about the motherfucking time where I knocked you out in sparring? And there's 2 other dudes sitting there, and they're both alpha male, like team alpha male, and they go to the gym. So, and they're like basically like, oh shit, he went there, but they're like, yup, like it makes sense. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. So Cody's known. He just said he knocked TJ Dillashaw out. He said he's knocked out the number 1 ranked former bantamweight champion of the UFC. And you're calling out fucking Brian Caraway? I like it's cool for building up to Cruz, like trying to start like, all right, the rivalry gets handed down from alpha male, and it's like Cruz has to take, he said it's like I take off one head and another one just pops up about team alpha male. So it kind of carries on that tradition, and yeah, he could talk about that. But title shot from not being ranked to entering the rankings to title shot, it doesn't really seem that fair. Especially maybe if like that Caraway Sterling fight didn't happen, but that sets up like high ranked contenders. But if he knows he's knocked out Dillashaw, not only that, he's in Dillashaw's head for that case. Like, if you know this dude who's so much younger than you has knocked you out in fucking training, and rumor is that TJ would go hard as shit and injure people in training. So, if you're that dude that's just going hard as fuck sparring, trying to knock out your fucking training partners, and then you're the one that winds up getting fucking laid out, it is what it is. And fucking on Ultimate Fighter, when McGregor was talking shit about TJ, like, Cody knew all this shit that was going on inside of the gym. Everyone knew, like, it was obvious, like, Dillashaw already left and shit like that, and McGregor was just airing this shit out. And then fucking Cody went at McGregor. Like, he was about to fight McGregor. A brawl almost went out. Like, a brawl almost happened. And he was like, well, TJ's my boy, and I'm not going to just sit here and let you talk about my boy like that. And then, like, after the brawl happened, like, TJ didn't know what happened or whatever and just came in. And then that's, like, when you see the clip of McGregor, like, oh, you lost, little boy, and bullshit like that. And then, but point is, Cody knocked out TJ Dillashaw. I'd be calling out TJ Dillashaw. Like, listen, fuck, like, he's going through a sunset, whatever. He's avenging a loss. But fuck giving Dillashaw the rematch. If he wants to get to the belt, that's the same shit I want to do. And I already beat Dillashaw, so I deserve that over him. That's how Cody, like, it's out there. You should just run with it. Like, he said it. And no media outlet really picked this up. Cody Garbrandt said he knocked out TJ Dillashaw. And they only picked up on No Love running up on Cruz and talking to him. And if you watch the Thrill and Agony, that little segment they do, not the preview version, the full version, you see, like, they incorporated that clip with Cody running up on Cruz in the backstage and shit like that. So, like, they could use that to build the fight if he gets over Dillashaw. But he should be calling out the number 1 contender, because he's only 24. So, like, he could definitely just be, because if he takes out like a Caraway, or if he takes out a Mizugaki, there's always room for that one more fight. You know what I mean? But if you just go call out Dillashaw, take out Dillashaw, it's like, bro, yeah, title shot is yours. So I think that's what they should do. Now, if you go according to rankings, I gotta look that up. And I'm not sure where Faber. I think Faber might be 3. I don't know if he went down. No, all right. So it's Dillashaw 1, Faber 2, Assunção 3, Caraway 4, Michael McDonald 5, Aljamain Sterling 6, and Cody Garbrandt 7. So he's number 7, and he's fighting number 11th now ranked Mizugaki. And ranked Dillashaw 1 and Assunção 3 are fighting. Faber just lost to Cruz, who Faber is ranked at 2nd. Cody should just call out Dillashaw and just get it going and just be next in line for the title shot. I don't know why, no, I would think out of anything people would be running with this story the most. Because people were talking about that Bisping Rockhold shit, and it was like a running joke that nobody took seriously about the fucking, this is their 3rd fight. Bisping was talking about how he beat up Rockhold in sparring. And then when they fought for the first time in the UFC, Rockhold handled Bisping. And then now that Bisping beat Rockhold, it's like people are like kind of validating his training, his sparring rumors more. You know what I'm saying? And Bisping keeps like feeding into it. But it's like Bisping and Rockhold, they, if anything, I think they should do Rockhold Weidman 2 for the contender. And I know people are throwing out Dan Henderson and GSP wants it. GSP would have never challenged. He wasn't talking this about Rockhold. The thing about Rockhold didn't excite him. GSP wasn't talking about Silva exciting him. Now you're going after Bisping. It just kind of seems like he's getting that extra title. It'd be kind of dope if he does it and gets it. But it's like we could have had that GSP Silva super fight in its prime. But it's like, man, I don't even want to see you go up to that weight class because you didn't do it then, you know? But if you can get the 2nd belt, more power to you. But if he just like kind of gets that 2nd belt and runs away with it, there'd be less respect to it. Like he would have to defend it against middleweights. So if GSP does that and just kind of takes it from Bisping and then builds up the confidence of the 185-pound champion and starts defending it against the top contenders in the middleweight division, then that'd be dope. But if he's just trying to namesake add to his legacy, nah, I don't want to see that. Cody should call out number 1 TJ Dillashaw after this fight. You're fighting number 11th ranked, so it's very opposite. You're not even fighting a top 10 guy now. So it's like you should have called out TJ. And maybe you could do it afterwards, because I don't see who they're going to book Dominic against. There's the Dillashaw rematch. If I was No Love, I would put that out in the air more before Dillashaw Cruz 2 starts talking. Like being in the fucking talks of shit. Like if the brass start like, all right, maybe we'll put Cruz against Dillashaw again. If I was Cody, I'd be like, nah, listen, I knocked out TJ. Just give me my shot. Or give me TJ for the shot. Which is what I think he should do. Because I think that would up his star power. Because when TJ beat Assunção, when he beat Barao, because TJ lost to Sun Sao. But when TJ beat Barao, people were like, "Oh, this is the new and improved Dominic Cruz, yada 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 yada," and like, I always had mad respect for Dominic Cruz, so like I knew I could appreciate TJ Dillashaw, but I knew Cruz was just on another level. And when Cruz won, it was a real close fight, and I saw Cruz winning that, but I'm glad the judges saw it that way too. But he handled Faber like it was nothing. He handled Faber the way like they would be in the pre-fight build-up, the way they were talking. He just kind of went into the cage and did the same thing. And he almost finished Faber multiple times. And I think Uriah just is like, yo, I got to keep it going and just try to pass the torch to No Love. But, you know, I think Dillashaw gets Faber, but if they do Dillashaw Faber, that kind of, yeah, that would sell more. But, like, No Love, it would just make Cody's star more epic. Like, if he goes through Dillashaw and then could get to Cruz, then that sets up, like, even if he loses to Cruz, there's still the potential of a rematch because he's young, you know what I mean? And that's a new trilogy. Because say Faber does beat Dillashaw, where does that take Uriah? That doesn't take him to a Cruz Faber 4. That just keeps him as a number 1 contender. I think that'd be more painful of a reminder to Uriah just being a number 1 contender, losing to the champion in that division twice. And I'm pretty sure Faber lost to Barao twice too. So it'll just kind of be like, damn, like it'll just like be a gatekeeping reminder. Like anyone wants to go through the title shot, it'll be against me. And knowing that, like, if they beat Uriah, they get a shot. If Uriah beats them, he probably doesn't. So he'd either have to end up leaving the division where he might not get another shot or just kind of wrapping up the career. Now, No Love should call out Dillashaw, fight Dillashaw. If he knocks out Dillashaw, you know, you have a new star in that division. And I'm pretty sure Cody hits hard enough, he could go up to 45 as well. So, you know, you could, like, imagine a fucking No Love Holloway super fight almost. Or, you know, there's a bunch of fights you could do. I think that when Cody and TJ fight, they should put Faber up against like a Caraway or something like that. Just kind of build up more of the lineup for people. Just put them on deck like ready to go. I think that fucking if Cody gets through TJ, then you got a lot of stuff going for you. You got like a new kind of franchise going for you in the sense like movies, studios, and trilogies and shit, possibly. But you heard it from the fucking horse's mouth. Cody said he knocked TJ out. And hold on, let me see if I could play this clip.
We're gonna take a picture. Yeah. So after the weigh-in, everyone's waiting to do a photo shoot. You know, we have to sit around with both teams talking, and Connor starts talking a little smack.
The champ does what he wants.
Thank you. I do what I want.
Yeah, yeah. You'll never touch that belt in your life. I always fell short. But the guy you brought up touched it.
But TJ? TJ's here with us.
Here with us. He ain't with you. Who? Me? Did I see TJ? Didn't see him here. Would I not say that to that little twerp?
So I'm pretty sure Cody Nola was just like, he's talking shit about TJ when he's not here. But if TJ was sitting here, he wouldn't be saying that.
Little snake in the grass he is.
That's where Dillashaw came into being.
He's a little snake in the grass.
TJ's the guy that I brought up from our crew when he was in high school. TJ was in my corner when I fought a world championship. He's been my right-hand man, so for Connor to like act like he knows what our situation is bizarre.
Where's the little snake? Where's the little weasel? Has he got Dwayne with him? Him and Dwayne, come over, take over the show. They take over your gym, they'll take over the show too, I'm sure. That's how people do to you.
So we know how everything played out. And at this time, it wasn't really in the public. So friggin' McGregor is just like talking inside information shit to his face on TV.
They just run you over.
Yeah, I've told Uriah many times. He needs to recognize who's with him, who's against him. He's bringing TJ into the gym. Happening that someone's
I'm skipping through it.
He took at a big money fight.
It's time to realize what's up.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think you just don't want to fight either of us.
I just booked the theories at the same time.
I'd like to see that. We don't get tired.
Oh, so that's a dig at Chad. So you dig at each
2
other.
weeks notice.
That's the type of stuff you go at. Yeah, you dig at each other. So you don't get tired, but Chad does. Was that a
2
little
weeks
bit?
notice.
That was a little dig at Chad. So maybe you're the snake. Maybe you're all snakes.
I think you're the snake.
Maybe you're all.
You're the
Yeah,
snake.
I came up with the same thing. Listen, stay on. Loyalty. Loyalty, that's the sign of a world champion. That's a sign of a world champion.
Loyal, I absolutely feeds them, shape or form. He's in here for his own benefit. The truth can hurt.
That's why I can't let you sit and talk about TJ without saying something, cuz boy, that's loyalty.
What, you gonna do something about it? What you gonna do?
I'll do something about it.
Do something then. Do something then. Do something then.
Alright, so I think, I don't know, I'm not sure, but that guy looked like Touchy, Andre Feely, but he was like, that's why I'm not going to sit here and let you talk shit about my boy. And then Connor's like, oh, what, you're going to do something about it? And then Cody Nolov's like, gets up and like, I'll do something about it, and attacks Connor. But, I mean, pretty much the bantamweight division's looking kind of more interesting than it was. Maybe possibly new rivalries. And, maybe if No Love and Faber are trying to get into the Dillashaw fight against each other, that might build up tension. So you never know, man. So, shit could get crazy soon. Cruz, reigning champ, and expect more videos to be coming out. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.